And we'll continue with our press conferences, joined now by Fernando Alonso and Gil de Ferran. Fernando, we can't possibly imagine what you're going through right now, but thank you so much for joining us. And you've had some time to process this information with the team. How have you and the team processed this from a mindset standpoint?
Well, I didn't spend much time with the team yet. I've been only in my motorhome and here talking with friends or family and following the Fast 9. Once you are not anymore in, you try to start relaxing a little bit. It has been very long qualifying, nearly 36 hours of qualifying from yesterday morning. So, yeah, we were just one place all the time out. Yesterday 31st instead of 30, today 34th instead of 33 by very small margin. And unfortunately not fast enough in any of the both days. So yeah, disappointed now. Obviously, it will be nice to be on the race next Sunday. We came here to race and to challenge ourselves, and we were not quick enough. So I congratulate all the other guys that they did better job, and hopefully we see a nice show next Sunday. Everyone safe and enjoying from the TV, unfortunately.
Gil, as we were talking about yesterday, you've been through the ups and downs and seen this from a driver's perspective. What words of advice and consolation do you have for the team as sporting director?
Well, this has been a very emotional and difficult experience, I think, not only for me, but for the whole team, And I think I want to take this opportunity to, apologize and thank the fans, not only here in the U.S. but globally, who have been following our progress, and I read a lot of nice things and some great messages all over the place. So thank you, and I'm sorry we won't be in the Indy 500. I want to also, I think, apologize and thank our team. The guys, been working for several months, and particularly this last month or so have been a tremendous effort into try to come here and do the best we can. And they worked all hours in the day, and I guess that was one of the main messages I had for the whole crew. This is a very difficult sport. We certainly didn't underestimate the challenge. We knew this was going to be a tremendously hard challenge. As you said, I've been here before. I've seen some incredible people not make the race. So we were certainly very aware of how difficult this was going to be. I want to apologize and thank to our partners who have been fantastic and incredibly supportive through this journey. I think also, the whole IndyCar community, frankly, who welcomed us with open arms. They, all the way from the officials, safety people, all the other teams, everyone in and around IndyCar, it was nothing but, a warm feeling and a lot of support, And I think last but not least, I want to thank this man here on my left, who, and I want to apologize to you as well, because we didn't give you a car that was fast enough. you know, you drove like the champion that we know you are. You know, it's been particularly this last 3 days, been incredibly tense and very difficult, and we couldn't have asked anything more from you, Fernando. So I'm sorry, man, and you're an amazing driver. So, you know, this is in my 35 years of racing, actually a few more. But this is the most painful experience I've ever had. You know, there's a mixture of emotions going on inside of me. But you know, we are racers. This is we respect this place. You know, this is one of the toughest challenges in racing. I wanna come back tomorrow, you know. I wanna fight, you know. I wanna come back tomorrow and fight. This is incredibly painful.
Thank you. We'll open up for questions. Yes, Bruce.
Fernando, we just heard Gil say that he wants to come back and he wants to come back and fight. This has been a goal of yours to come here and conquer the Indianapolis 500. Probably way too soon, but will we see you back here to try it again?
Yeah, I don't know. Right now, I think it's difficult to make any promise. You know, it's just Sunday after. Wow, it's raining now a lot. It's just too soon to make decisions. You know, I don't know even what I will do after next month. Le Mans 24 Hour. I finished my program on the World Endurance Championship, and I wanted to have the 2020 open because I don't know exactly what opportunities may come for me for next year in terms of racing. So, you know, I don't know. Until I don't know a program for next year, I cannot promise or have any idea on my mind. But as always said, you know, I will be more than happy, you know, to race here again in the future and to win the Triple Crown, which is still a target or different targets. You know, maybe I race different series with different challenges. Maybe next year as well, completely out of my comfort zone again, and maybe, you know, this type of challenge, they can bring you a lot of success, and you can be part of the history of the sport, or can be really disappointed. And you know, today is one of those, but I prefer to be here than to be like millions and millions of other people, you know, at home watching TV. You know, I prefer to try.
Gil, the nature of this business, when a high-profile team doesn't make it, the speculation begins that you could possibly buy a ride. Would you care to comment on that at this time?
Yeah, I can comment on that. We will not do that. We want to earn our place in the field.
Yes, Wolfgang.
Fernando, 2 questions for you. You just said earlier you were not fast enough. I think you maybe had countless meetings with your engineers. Did you ever come to the point what was the main reason not being fast enough?
Well, I think it's a combination of things. You know, we were not fast, not only today. I think the whole event we were struggling a little bit. And yeah, if you see the cars that we are out, maybe he answered your question.
Okay, and the second question, 2 years ago, you were driving here. It was a different car regulation-wise. Can you compare the cars? Was this car much more difficult to drive than 2 years ago?
Not really. I think once it's difficult to compare because the cars are not exactly the same in terms of configuration and aero packages. But you know, these 4 laps in qualifying especially is 4 laps you are flat. There is not really anything big that you need to drive. You know, as long as you don't lift. You know, it's more or less the speed on the car that put you in one position or another, or the time of the day, you know. But we have multiple attempts yesterday in different time, so we should be okay if the car was quick enough. But we didn't manage to achieve that. And yeah, I tried, you know, I tried my best. Every attempt. I drove with a loose car and didn't lift off. I drove with an understeer car, I didn't lift off. I drove with a rear puncher. I only lift off in the last lap because I could not make the corner. But, and today we went out with an experiment that we did overnight. We changed a little bit the car because we thought that maybe we need something fundamental different to go into the race with some confidence, because yesterday car, even if we qualified today, we were not maybe in the right philosophy to race on next Sunday, and we went out not knowing what the car will do in 10-1, you know, but you're still flat, so we tried.
Other questions? Yes, George.
Fernando, what positives can you take away from your experience here this month?
Well, I think there are always things that you learn and things that you improve, you know, for next time you hear and next challenge, not only in the Indy 500 as a driver. So, you know, I think I still feel, you know, proud. Obviously, I'm disappointed now because we will not be in the race. But, you know, as I said, you know, even for McLaren, which, you know, there will be a big thing, you know, in the next day or next 2 days, and then everyone will forget. But the next 2 days it will be maybe hard for the team, and I feel unfair a little bit, you know, if everything goes on that way. You know, we didn't do the job. We were not quick enough. Simple, you know. The others they did better. We congratulate them, but at the same time, I think only McLaren is the only team in motorsport that won the Indy 500, won the Le Mans 24-hour, won Formula One championship. So you can only do that if you try. You know, if you stay only in one series and you concentrate there for, you know, all your history, or your organization is only racing in one series, maybe you can succeed. You can have good seasons, bad seasons, but you are in that small world, you know. But in terms of motorsport in general, you know, to be here and at least try, you know, it deserves some credits, you know, and obviously we are all disappointed, and we will try to do better next time, but it's that kind of things that you learn, you know. As I said before, I prefer to be here, even 34th, than being at home like last year. You know.
For Fernando, I know you have a greater respect and appreciation for this place already. Does a result like this just increase that respect and appreciation for the series and for Indianapolis?
No. Not at all.
Any final questions? Yes, Bruce.
Gil, Zach Brown told me out in Long Beach that a full-time IndyCar effort would be dependent on how things went this May. So what's your view on that? Is this something that's going to really need to be very well thought out and discussed before moving forward?
Well, that's always the case. You know, you try to do the best you can, you know, drawing up plans and everything. And one thing, you know, when you asked Fernando about positives, I was thinking, well, from my perspective, you know, we certainly learned a lot of lessons here that we'll carry that forward. You know, that possibility still in consideration, but no decision has been made.
We'll take our last question up front. Right there on the end. Thank you.
I've got one for each of you. Fernando, this was the first time we've seen this qualifying format, and no disappointment aside, you were, I guess, one of the first true, I guess, test cases we have of it. So what did you think of this year's qualifying format relative to the bump days of the past?
I think it was fun. It was good. Obviously not for us, but I think for a fun point of view, I think it's nice, you know. Even on television, you have this drama on the last six, which, yeah, even if yesterday we were 31st, you know, it's a little bit unfair that today we're out, but it's part of the show, and you accept it. And I think the Fast 9 is something that you see more often in other races, and that's good. And yeah, to lock the 30 to the 10th to the 30 is I think quite good. And you know, today is a shorter day, but with a lot of stress, you know, for teams, drivers. But I think it's good show. So you know, I really enjoy the qualifying. Even yesterday, the multiple attempts, you know, as long as you have new tires, it's quite good, because you know there were a lot of cars in line 2 that they were not so sure, and they have to make a decision in the last moment and cancel their times. So you know, for me it was the first time, because in 2017 it was not necessary, and I thought that it was a good format.
And then for Gil, it might be too early to really get a great answer on this till you have time to debrief, but assuming you guys do ever come back, what things do you think McLaren as a unit learned that you could maybe bring back in future years?
Yeah, you know, to be honest, I don't really want to get into the detail of that, but you know, we're very humble about everything that went on over here, and I think this time I just want to say that we did learn a lot of lessons. You know, we have to really, you know, look inwards. And look at everything that we learn, cement those lessons, and move forward. You know, and you know, like I said, I consider myself a racer, a fighter. You know, I want to apply those lessons starting tomorrow.
Gentlemen, we hope we see you back here again very soon.
Thank you,
very
guys.
much.
Thank you.